I recently did a video where we went off-grid around Northland. I also shared about what we mean by freedom camping here in New Zealand. So this video, I want to talk about self-containment certification. It's a word that comes up quite a lot when you're camping in New Zealand, and the rules have recently changed, and my goodness, it got complicated. So I've made it simple in this video for you. Hi, I'm Emily and I run Emily in NZ, posting about living, working and exploring this beautiful country that is New Zealand. Hit subscribe so you'll be notified about my latest video. So, CSC, Certified Self-Contained Vehicles. What is self-containment? Self-containment is that you manage your waste for at least 3 days. You have appropriate management for the number of people who you can have in your vehicle, whether that's a campervan or a caravan. You cannot get self-containment for a tent. So what do we mean by waste management? Waste management here in our caravan is your toileting facilities. You need to be able to manage your toileting facilities and the waste that comes from using the toilet for the number of people you've got for at least 3 days. Now that might mean you need 2 cassette toilets, and you store the other one whilst you wait to go to a dump station. Also, water, your wastewater that comes from your shower or your sink or washing your hands, that's classed as your grey water. You need to be able to hold it. You cannot deposit it where you camp. You must go to a dump station. I share this in our video where I talk about off-grid, and it was one of our challenges where we were constantly disposing of our wastewater. We have the capabilities here in this caravan for 5 adults to manage their waste for 3 days. In my video, I joked that every other day we were having to go to the dump station. I can't say we were very efficient with our water usage, and you must carry a card which shows that you are certified. Now, it's the cards that have changed, the colour of these cards and some of the requirements. So we now have a yellow, a green and the old blue card. Now, I'll read this section to make sure I'm getting it right. The blue warrant cards issued under NZ Standard 5462/2001 are valid for 4 years from the date of inspection at NZMCA Parks and NZMCA Events, New Zealand Caravan Motor Association, and certified self-contained freedom camping sites until June 2026. So at the time of recording, it's now March 2025. The blue card is valid until June 2026, unless yours has expired. So they have 4 years validity on them. Actually, ours runs out in November this year, so ours would run out before the legislation changes. That's why we got certified a few months ago for the new green card. So the blue cards will no longer exist after June next year and be taken over by the green and the yellow card, the green warrant card. Issued under a new self-containment regulations and is also valid for 4 years from the date of issue. It is valid for NZMCA parks, events and certified self-contained campsites. Things like Department of Conservation and council sites and freedom parking designated bays. Now, to get a green card, you must carry at least 4 litres per person per day of water. So in our JCO base station, we are certified for 5 people. So that's 4 litres over 3 days per person. The sink must be connected to a sealed grey water tank with a smell/water trap stopping anything back feeding. Now the grey water tank must hold at least 4 litres per person per day, all their wastage obviously, and be vented if it's smaller than the freshwater tank. We hold far more water than we need for our certification, which is great, and as I said in a previous video, we've actually got twice as much freshwater capability than we have grey water. We're still well within the restrictions. It just means we can keep going with our water, but we have to empty our grey water more often. The evacuation hose must at least be 3 metres long or long enough to go to a portable tank. Now this is the key difference here for a green warrant card. Your toilet must be fixed and hold at least 3 litres per person and be installed by the manufacturer. That's a key thing, as a lot of campervans had portable removable toilets and they held the blue warrant certificate. They no longer can get a green certificate. Here in the JCO base station we have a formal bathroom which the toilet is fixed, with a cassette storage area which allows for our requirement mounts. I like this optional extra, it's a good one, and it's one actually that I use, is a sealed rubbish bin. We have nice little bins that lift up and we use them to seal. We obviously put things in bags as well, because again, part of your waste is your rubbish. So the yellow card. The yellow card is identical in every way for all those things apart from the toilet being fixed. You can have a portable toilet. You can also choose to have a yellow card even if you have a fixed toilet. If you don't want to freedom camp and you're happy with standard campsites, some Department of Conservation campsites and some council sites, this also means that your certificate is valid for 10 years and you don't need to be recertified for another 10 years, which could be a lot more convenient for the people. But it does restrict some of the sites that you want to go to. The timeline came in June last year, June 2024, and all new vehicles were required to comply with the new green certification. Then in December last year, all rental vehicles had to comply with the green certification, which if you're visiting New Zealand and thinking of renting, it's good to know that with the green requirements, you know where you can go camping. From June 2025, all vehicles must display a green card for freedom camping, and from June 2026, the last blue warrants expire. I hope that makes a bit of sense. Keep an eye out for people who have green cards, blue cards and yellow cards, and have a think about which one you need for your camping requirements. It was quite complicated when they first brought this in, and it still has some challenges now, but NZMCA, New Zealand Caravan Motor Association, are in charge of the certification process, which keeps everything quite central. We are members and we highly recommend, if you're camping in New Zealand, it is worth joining the NZMCA for access to their sites and the certification process. I am not remotely affiliated with them, I just think it's a great organisation. Not to mention their app, which helps you find freedom camping sites, different council sites and all campsites in New Zealand. We navigate New Zealand using their app. Thank you for watching. I hope you found that helpful. Please put in the comments what you think to this new certification system. It is quite complicated. Have you chosen to get a yellow card rather than a green card? I look forward to hearing from you. I post every week with new videos about what we get up to around New Zealand, usually in our caravan. So hit subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. In the meantime, check out one of these videos that you might find interesting.